Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
New at noon here on Monday, a live look at Exact Track 40 radar. The forewarned weather team tracking another round of storms moving into southeast Michigan. Thank you for joining us here at noon. I'm Nick Monticelli. We're going to get straight over to Ashley to talk about those storms that should be hitting us here in a couple of hours, Ashley.
Yeah, we can already start to see that line develop on the west side of the state. If you look at the total lightning strikes developing over the last hour, now inching close to 200. So some stronger storms off towards Kalamazoo, pushing east of Grand Rapids. But as we put our, zoom into our radar and make it live, really right now, just south of I-94, a couple little light rain showers, especially closer to the state line. Otherwise, drier conditions have built in for the time being. That will not be the case once we get into the later part of the afternoon and into the early evening. So marginal risk for severe weather across southeastern Michigan. Damaging wind gusts and flooding with some heavy downpours will be the primary threat. And that's going to be that level 1 on a 5-level scale. So temperature-wise, we have upper 70s across the area. We'll continue to inch upward from there. We'll be into the 80s this afternoon, with those storm chances increasing, especially as we get closer to the dinner hour, as that's a pretty slow moving front. But those mid 80s are going to feel even warmer. And so we'll feel like we are into the low to mid 90s with that higher humidity. We'll talk more about this with the timeline coming up.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. As you can see there, always follow the latest on your forewarned weather app. Download it right now. All the places you would download your apps. Just search Forewarned or Local 4 or WDIV in the App Store. We're following breaking news into the Local 4 newsroom. It is a tragic update to a story we first brought you this morning. A hit and run in Livonia has left a 3-year-old boy dead and his twin sister and mother in the hospital. This is video we shot at the scene as it was clearing this morning on Merriman near Linden. Police say a mother and her twin toddlers were crossing Merriman last night when a driver hit all 3 of them and then took off. We're told Good Samaritans rushed to pull the injured children from the road. The 3-year-old boy died from those injuries. His twin sister and the mother are still in critical condition this afternoon. Police say they have found the suspect vehicle. No word, though, on any arrests. We're also working to learn more about a massive industrial fire that has left 1 firefighter hurt. All of it happened in the area of Jefferson and Connor on Detroit's east side. Sky 4 was overhead as crews were battling that fire and saw that huge cloud of smoke filling the sky. Jay Scott Smith is out on the east side this morning. Jay, you just got an update from the Detroit Fire Department?
Yes, indeed, Nick, we did. Good afternoon, everybody. And while the flames may be gone from this fire, actually, as you can see here, it's still smoldering just a little bit. We got some smoke coming up out of here. There's still some police and fire vehicles out here as well, as crews have been working to get this thing fully under control at the Avita Specialty Service Facility here on Lycast Street. Now, it was a different story earlier this morning, as the flames could be seen on our sky cam around 5 a.m. And this facility recycles oil and treats waste and has about 20 employees, all of whom have been accounted for and are safe. Now, the trouble reportedly started around 2:30 a.m. when workers saw steam, smelled rubber, heard a bang coming from inside this facility, and then the flames rose up. Now, employees scrambled to safety and the fire only grew, but it also created a huge mess in the streets and caused potential air quality issues.
There's a lot of product that leaked out that is in the street with the oil water mix. They're offloading that right now, and then we're working on that cleanup, and we're going to continue to cool the facility and do the air monitoring.
Now, just in the last about 15-20 minutes, we've heard from the fire department, and they say the official cause of this fire is currently under investigation. And while there were no injuries to any employees at the facility, there was 1 firefighter who suffered a back injury. He was taken to Detroit Receiving Hospital, but thankfully, he's expected to fully recover. We're live on Detroit's east side. I'm Jay Scott Smith. Let's head back to the studio with Nick.
All right, Jay, thank you very much for that update. Detroit police this afternoon working to figure out who shot 2 siblings, leaving one of the teens dead and the other one hurt. The shooting happened yesterday near Schoolcraft and Mark Twain Street. Police say a 15-year-old died and a 13-year-old girl was grazed by a bullet. We're told other kids and adults were in the house when this happened. Police think the shooter knew the victims. A Macomb County father is facing charges for the murder of his 6-month-old son. 30-year-old Anthony Robinson is already serving time in prison for abusing his son in 2016. The boy died from the injuries in 2022, resulting in a felony murder charge for Robinson. Well, we are getting our first look at the former Oakland County teacher facing sexual assault charges. 26-year-old Jocelyn Sanderman is accused of having a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old student. Sanderman worked at a Oakside Prep Academy in Waterford Township. This all came to light after she allegedly confided in another teacher who then reported it to police. Sanderman was charged with 3 counts of criminal sexual conduct. She is facing up to 15 years in prison. The showdown in Congress over the so-called Big Beautiful Bill ramps up today in Washington. The Senate begins a marathon voting session today known as a vote-a-rama. Democrats will offer amendments, but the carefully crafted bill is expected to pass with Republican support. The House could vote as early as Wednesday, with the bill reaching the president's desk by July 4th. Well, more breaking news, and this is big news. Good news for the local sports scene. The WNBA is coming back to Detroit. The league announced this morning it is expanding to 18 teams, with Detroit, Cleveland, and Philadelphia joining the league by 2030. Pistons owner Tom Gore submitted a bid earlier this year to bring a team back to Motor City. You might remember the Detroit Shock, one of the league's first expansion teams in the 90s. The Shock won 3 WNBA titles and led the league in attendance for 3 straight seasons. The team moved to Tulsa in 2009. No word yet on what the team name will be, but Pistons Vice Chairman Aaron Tellem is excited to bring women's basketball back to Detroit.
Basketball is a unifying sport. It brings people together. More than ever in our world today, that purpose is clearly vital. And we've seen it, we saw it this year with the Pistons finally making the playoffs, coming back and making the playoffs, what it did to our community. We've seen the Lions' success, now the Tigers' success. It brings a huge, diverse audience into our arenas and stadiums, and there's no greater unifying force in our city, in our country, than sports.
Well, Detroit's expansion team will begin play in 2029. Damon Fernandez is gathering reaction. He's going to have a full report on later editions of Local 4 News. Well, summer break should mean fun for kids, not hunger. But in Southeast Michigan, 1 in 5 do not know where their next meal is coming from, especially when they're not in school. That's why we have teamed up with Gleaners Community Food Bank over in Taylor for today's Go For It event. Ty Steele has been there all morning long. He watched the volunteers walk in as the doors opened, and they've been busy assembling food kits for children and their families all morning long. Hey, Ty.
Hey, Nick. Yeah. You know what? The need is absolutely great. Unfortunately, hunger does not take a break for the summer. That is why we have teamed up with Gleaners Community Food Bank here in Taylor. This is where the food gets packed, put into the boxes, moved along the assembly line. The volunteers right now are on a quick 15-minute break. Another group's going to come. Whoop, box makes it all the way down here. It gets packed, and then all these boxes are sent to 350 different partner agencies throughout the area and feeds those 300,000 kids in Southeast Michigan that are food insecure. I want to introduce you to my friend. This is Angela Halverson. She is the Gleaners Community Director of Giving, and she's here to talk about how much work we've done today. When the volunteers were here, it's a well-oiled machine. It's absolutely incredible to watch them work. How many boxes of food did we pack today?
We packed over 13,000 pounds of food today, and that's about over 10,000 boxes.
1,300 boxes, 10,000 different meals going out to kids, and that is just in a 3-hour time frame. Absolutely incredible. What does it mean to you to work for Gleaners and to meet this need in our community?
Oh my gosh, it makes me proud. It makes me proud to see neighbors, community partners, joining hands together to get the job done. It makes me really proud to be a member of this community.
Makes us proud too. Thanks for partnering with us. And we've got a great announcement to make today, something really fun for you. None of this would be possible. None of this food here would be here without our corporate sponsorships. This is Cam Barrett right here. Cam, you're holding a big fat check.
Yes, I am. So not only did we roll up our sleeves today with community members, Kroger associates, and do some volunteering behind us to pack those 10,000 meals, but we're also making a $3,000 contribution to Gleaners Hunger Free Summers that's going to generate an additional 3,000 meals. So we're up to 13,000 on the day. We got another volunteer shift left, so can't wait to wrap it up and keep the good times rolling.
Cam, well said. Thank you so much for your support. Again, $10,000 check from Kroger's. That is so many more meals for 1 in 5 kids in Southeast Michigan that are food insecure. Back over here in the facility, this is going to be packed with volunteers in about 10 minutes. And as you just heard, they packed 1,300 boxes in about 2.5 hours. We're going to pack another 1,300 plus boxes. The ask today is not for volunteers today because we've got plenty of volunteers for today. But if you would like to volunteer in the future, do that. Go to clickondetroit.com. There's a registration form if you'd like to volunteer in the future. But what we are asking for today is monetary donations, and we're matching through August. So every dollar that you give gets matched. That's $2. $2 means 6 meals for kids that are food insecure in Southeast Michigan. Nick, we're going to send it back to you.
Yeah, what a deal. You can't beat that. $1 helps feed 6 families. Ty, thank you so much this afternoon.